What made me join the National Guard? In all honesty, I had a plan to go to college, but I wasn't really sure how I was going to exactly pay. But then I found out that the National Guard actually had tuition assistance. So with FAFSA and the National Guard tuition assistance, I thought like I'd be pretty secure when going to college. So that was like my first initial plan, but there's other reasons too. Like my grandfather actually flew planes to Vietnam. My aunt was a major in the Army. My mom attempted to join the National Guard, but my aunt actually joined the National Guard. So it runs in my family to a certain amount. I enlisted in the National Guard when I was 17. So I enlisted November 25th, 2014. And then my contract is up actually November 24th, 2020. With the National Guard, I serve 1 weekend a month and then 15 days roughly in the summer, so I'll say August. How I do it, I actually don't schedule classes like on, too close to the weekend. So then I'm able to like rest and actually prepare properly. Now, sometimes I have drill days where it's not just Saturday and Sunday, it's actually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if I actually would have had classes, it actually would have conflicted. So that's why I say I try to cram everything between, Monday and Thursday. I find it's actually a pretty healthy balance, but also I actually send copies of my drill schedule to my instructors so they know what's going on. Say like we get an assignment, but I might not be able to probably work on it that weekend. They actually, work around my drill schedule. So basic training is the process where a civilian actually gets turned and trained to be a soldier. They'll explain it how they'll break you down and build you back up as a soldier. For some people, basic training is actually very fun, but for other people, it's actually not. I've seen people get injured. And then when I went to basic training, 3 people actually, died while I was in basic training. It's not all fun and games because you are training to be a soldier. You're training to go to war and go to combat. So you're around a lot of dangerous equipment. And then the environment you train in could also be hostile and dangerous. Because what happens is every night before I have training, I never get a proper night's rest, like ever. So that's why, I maybe like 2 to 4 hours, cause like I'm so nervous. Because like I know like when I go there, then it's a shift in environment because I was in the civilian world and I gotta be in the military world, and then I've been out of it for so long, and then I have to like reacquaint myself with how my unit works and then the ranking system, etc. It's not too much of a hassle, but it's always a difference between like going between like my everyday lifestyle and throwing back into military training. I met a lot of student veterans here. They can understand what I go through. Because when I go to training and I come back, not every single one of my friends can actually relate to what I go through or what the military is actually like. There's a little bit of a gap there when I want to talk about something I went through during training, because we all complain about something, but then like it's just this an environment they've never experienced before. So then with the veteran students, you're like, oh man, I know exactly how that feels. Yeah, when my first sergeant did this, it's like you have that camaraderie with other people who have served. So it's always nice to have. When it comes to the school, there's a lot of people, huge number of faculty at any school who have actually served. So they really don't know what veteran students actually go through when they come back. Like I've met veteran students who've been deployed to, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Guantanamo Bay, and then they come here and they struggle because they're coming out of the military world back into the civilian world. And then there's like, depression there, and then they're attempting to go to school. So they're coming back from this environment of stress just to come back to another environment of stress. I feel like maybe the colleges should probably have more systems or resources in place to actually help with this transition, and maybe be understanding that like, hey, our veteran students are coming from, such and such place. And probably try to reach out to them, because I've met veteran students who actually they attempted to go to school, and then the stress became too much, and then they dropped out, or they were just going through a lot of stuff at home, and then they try to take on a full course load at school, and it's just like I said, it just didn't work out. I actually went through a really depressive state where I didn't come to school for a week. I just stayed at home. I just didn't want to leave the house. I didn't leave my room for an entire week. And then my GPA suffered. I ended up with a 1.5 GPA for that semester. But then, when I came back to school during fall semester last semester, I developed more of a network of people who just motivate me just by being themselves. And those people are always a blessing to have around. I was able to get my GPA back up, got a 3.75 last semester. I feel very happy and content with my life at the moment. And then if I ever go through that again, I'll be more prepared because of the people that I've met have actually, supported me and gave me techniques to use. And they truly just inspire me. Whoever is watching this, I want to say one thing that truly helped me my entire time in Mott. I want to say there's a lot of people who actually go to school here who actually, they hate going to school here. And I think that's kind of weird. So like, how are you going to school for something apparently you say you want to do, but then you hate going to class or you hate learning about it? Then I realized that they aren't truly passionate about what they're studying. So the best thing I can say to anyone is like, find your passion, but truly actually embody your passion. Because I actually enjoy coming to school. Those snow days that we had earlier this semester, I hated sitting at home. I could have been at school. Or like on Fridays, I like to come into the computer lab, you know, I hang out with Calvin, I hang out with other media arts students, and we just talk.
Yeah. Got you, bro. I got you, Calvin. See, when the beat drop, I'm dropping grenades. My flow sick like it got AIDS. Hurt your feelings, your heart gon' need a band-aid. Cutting scars real deep. Whew. Leave you with the bloody sheets when the corner put them over you. Whew. Boy, this verse is overdue. Like my grades for Craig's class. He gon' put his foot in my ass, but it's okay, you know. Cut you real deep, my flow got glass.
And like, that's why I enjoy my Fridays. So I can just come and just be with students who share the same level of passion or want to dive into the same things that I want to dive into. Because there is a level of passion there and I'm following it. If you are upset with any of that, it's because you probably aren't truly passionate about it. So find your passion and pursue that.